Hi everyone, welcome to my talk. My name is Guanhua Zhang, and currently I'm finishing my PhD from University of Stuttgart, Germany. I'm very happy to present our paper, DisMouse, Disentangling Information from Mouse Movement Data, on behalf of my colleagues, Zhiming and Andreas. Computational modeling of interactive behavior has emerged as a key component or topic in HCI, and the mouse is particularly promising because it is a ubiquitous tool to navigate a wide range of interactive systems. Mouse movement data or mouse behavior, it reflects a complex interplay of various factors such as the user characteristics, the interfaces they interact with, the goals they want to achieve, and also the inherent noise within the device, as the previous presenter also mentioned. So separating these different factors from mouse movements has significant potential, but it's also profoundly challenging and remains underexplored. To address this gap, as a first step, we propose DisMouse to disentangle information from mouse movement data, including two semantic representations, capturing the user-specific information, user-independent information, as well as a low-level component representing the stochastic variations within the mouse data. We opted for the user factor because understanding users is crucial for personalized interactive systems, and user labels are pervasively available in existing mouse data sets, so it technically allows us to control and disentangle this user variable. Specifically, DisMouse combines the supervised and the self-supervised learning techniques. It includes a diffusion-based autoencoder that disentangle the semantic and the stochastic information. So it has an encoder to extract the semantic embedding, which further conditions the denoising diffusion process. And this part is basically trained to create the reconstruction of the input data. And after training, this model can deterministically extract an unique XT, which represents or captures the stochastic variations inside the given mouse data. We also designed a contrastive user identification module with two branches to further disentangle the semantic representation into user-specific and user-independent components. We split the semantic embedding averagely into two halves and sent each of the half to each of the branch. The two branches, as you can see, they are linked through this gradient reversal layer. And also the minimization of the mutual information of the two halves of the semantic embeddings. So the first branch is forced to refine the user-specific information by identifying the users. And the second branch is discouraged from differentiating different users, and therefore the second half captures the leftover user-independent features that are the patterns shared across different users. We train this model via the combination of the loss function of the reconstruction loss for denoising, the two classification loss functions for user identification, as well as the mutual information loss to push these two semantic representations towards larger semantic distinction. We trained the model on a large-scale publicly available data set that was collected in an unconstrained setting. To assess the generalizability of our model and of the learned representations, we then froze the pre-trained model and directly transfer it to two other data sets for evaluation without any fine-tuning. Our evaluations shows that each of the three learned representations, they capture the expected information of mouse behavior, and each of them is useful for further applications. First, we assess the quality of the input reconstruction because this can reflect the ability of these representations to, if they capture essential information within the input mouse data, to pinpoint which representation pertained the core properties of the data. We replaced each of them with just a Gaussian noise and then created a reconstruction of the data and check its impact on the mean squared error of the reconstruction. We can see that using all the three representations together, so this DisMouse method, it led to the best reconstruction quality, and this confirmed that each component captures meaningful aspects of the input mouse data, and the information is complementary to each other. Also, if we compare these three, so compared to XT, replacing either the E-user or E-non-user, these two semantic representation can result in the larger reconstruction error increase. So this means that these two representations, they capture more critical information than the XT, which is just the stochastic variation. We also visualize the reconstruction results achieved by adding Gaussian noise to the three representations. And we can see modifying the XT, it primarily affects the minor details of the mouse trajectory, but changing the other two representations significantly impacts the shape, the location, the direction, and also the potential underlying interaction goals of the mouse trajectory. So this also visually illustrates that the XT conveys mainly stochastic information, while the other two are, have more higher level semantic information. Since we consider the user factor, we also compare each component's performance on the user identification task to check how much user-specific information they have. And we see user with the most user information, it has the highest user identification accuracy, followed by E-non-user and then XT. Since we particularly designed this two-branch module and also minimized the mutual information between the two halves of the semantic representation to disentangle the user factor, we also conducted an ablation study to check their contribution to the disentanglement of user information. Again, we check their accuracy on user identification on the two test data sets, and we can see removing any of these designs can impact the representations as we expect. So the performance gap between the two semantic representations was reduced. So this shows that our designs are effective in the disentanglement. Our DisMouse also enables different applications. For example, changing the user, the user-specific representation can synthesize data that maintain the original user's intention, but adopting the style of the other user. For example, here, if you look at the green trajectories, these are the original trajectories from user A and the user B. So user A tended to have more flowing and smoother movement, while B has more sharp turns and tended to have more straight lines in the mouse trajectory. But if we swap their user components and regenerate their data, basically the location or the movement trending of the trajectories are similar, but they show another user's style. And this can be interesting for personalized behavior modeling, user-centered design, or creating some user-specific test use cases. And DisMouse can also concurrently refine the two mouse features, so the user and the non-user. They are effective for downstream tasks requiring the corresponding information Again, we have shown that e-user is beneficial for user identification, and the e-non-user is beneficial for tasks like next action prediction or task recognition, which values the shared patterns more than the user-specific patterns. We compared with the commonly used handcrafted mouse features with or without feature selection, as well as the embeddings generated by variational autoencoder. Also, since we have shown that changing the XT can generate movement variations that have minor difference, and we then show this can be used for data augmentation. So we randomly kept a little proportion of the training data to imitate the data scarcity scenario, and we sample the Gaussian noise for multiple times and added them to XT to generate multiple variations to restore the training set into its original set. We compare with currently most used data augmentation techniques and show our XT can actually lead to better data augmentation performance. So in summary, we propose DisMouse. It's the first computational method to disentangle user-specific, user-independent, and stochastic information from mouse movements using a novel semi-supervised training paradigm. And the method, the learned representations, they can generalize across data sets, and they capture complementary information. They benefit various use cases like controllable generation of behavior data. In the future, we want to investigate more fine-grained user factors, as well as other factors that impact user behavior. And we want to extend the usage into multimodal setting to include like keyboard gaze or user interfaces. So please see our paper for more details, and our code is also available for further research. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for this nice talk. Are there any questions?
Hello, my name is Yotam from the University of Tokyo, and my question is, as you've shown, you can technically identify users based on the patterns of their mouse usage. Do you think this can be a form of identification like a fingerprint or something that is relatively secure, or would it be difficult for that task?
Yeah, thanks for the question. It's actually, there is the research field for computational behavior modeling. It's the biometric, behavior-based biometric. And there many methods have been proposed to use like mouse movements or also include like clicks or scrolling, these different events. To identify users or to do user authentication. For now, as far as I know, the user authentication can have really good performance, but for identification, especially when we have a large number of users, the accuracy or other metrics are still low. So I think it's promising, but there is still a lot of research to do.
Thank you so much for the great talk. Thank you.
Thank you.